Today I will present about the personal issue regarding this. And this is my teammates, Adan, right here, and Zhang. And then Ifa, and myself, and then Yan Fusun, and so let's start with culture issue. She will be doing the introduction.
Right. First of all, let's talk about the difference of Chinese culture and British culture. As everyone knows, they native language is Chinese or in China, but the native language is English in British. Most of Chinese people eat noodles and rice, but most of British people eat fast food and steak. Okay. As for religion, in the past, most of Chinese people believe in Buddhism and Northern. But now, young people in China not really do. So, but now in British, most of people believe in Christianity. As for work, for now, most young people in China focus on make more money by car, by house. They will choose work overtime, but invest not less. So more details, let's give my partner.
Okay, next I will talk about Huawei Company. Huawei Company is a private company and leading global information and communication technology ICT solution provider. And it founded in 1987 by Zhengfei, and there are more than 170,000 employees in the company. Huawei's product and solution have been deployed in over 170 countries and regions. After funding of interview with Huawei's company manager, we found there are advantages and disadvantages for working overseas of Huawei's employer. There are three advantages. The first one is higher salary, and the second one is working experience, and the third one is better working and living for abroad. There are also three disadvantages for the overseas working. The first one is you will separate from family and stress the relationship. The second one is they will have a few friends in a new country. It's hard to make friends. And the last one is you will work stress. It's more stressful than in China. Okay, let's take us my friend.
Okay. Hi. Alright. So I will talk more on the theory. I will mention about the similarity and also the limitation of the theory. So you can see actually three of them. The theory is, although they are the founders or the inventors of the theory, but when we read into depth of the theory, what they try to deliver the message are actually the same, just that in different form of delivery, the way they write it. So, for example, like the individualism and the communitarianism, it's actually similar to time theory, but when we read it, we thought it's the way they express it is different, but the message they try to deliver is the same. Okay, same, but as actually when we know that Trompeter's theory and positive theory are quite similar, and actually Trompeter's theory are more to the surface of the person culture, but then positive will go in depth. But when we use to solve the cross-culture issue, we can actually use both of them mixed together, and that will be very good for our case study. So for the limitation wise, we can talk about two of the models. One will be horse. One of the limitations is actually the research for horse, right, he only did 3 countries, which is German, France, and America. His findings cannot be tested without problem by time. So horse has a high and low context theory, right, and this cannot be tested by time either. Just take China for example. Children in the both cities and countryside, they prefer to live separate from their parents. And the fast pace of modernization leads China to the series of reform. Several decades ago, people from one organization lived together, but now each other, they prefer to live separately. And however, now people even living opposite door usually do not know each other. This is the changes between the past and the present. For Trompena's limitation, and the study it shows a great extent is actually a replication of positive and Hall in this few specific dimension. He listed 2 examples of the proven of his theory. One of it is about the Chinese doctor who knifed his critic to death, and the second is about the British manager who poisoned by an African employee being dismissed. These are the 2 special cases that can happen in any culture. Thus, it is not appropriate to conclude that they are the diffuse bound or the specific bound. Alright? So, to understand more about how does the theory is actually applied to solve the case study, so my friend here will further explain about the problem and solution.
Okay, guys, I will talk 2 biggest problems between the China and the UK. First problem is teamwork problem. When Chinese consumers need to make a purchase decision, they are more likely to take into account public opinions from the social networks, such as members of families and friends. UK individuals are self-centered and strive to fulfill their own growth. They are likely to pursue their own personal preference and less concerned about public opinion. Okay, now let's talk about the communication problem. UK is a loud context culture. They say what they think and think what they say, like a man. Messages are sent explicitly. They expect the same thing from the communication partner. So they avoid any misunderstanding things through interpretation. Maybe that's why UK are considered as sole infection in the world. Okay, now the Chinese. A typical example for a high context culture is China. Messages are sent implicitly. There is a space for interpretation, which can lead to even misinterpretation and misunderstanding things. Like the Chinese people, if Chinese people say, okay, never mind, it's okay, you have no problem, that means maybe you have a bigger problem now. So how to solve this problem? My partner will explain.
So for the solution about the teamwork, what we discussed before that actually nowadays for youngsters we know more. We are not so into our culture anymore. Actually, we start to adapt to others' culture as well. That means we are trying to learn from others as well, not just our own culture. That's for this example, China and UK. Even though we are Chinese, now we are learning UK program as well, so we are learning their culture as well. So through the whole process, we will slowly to adapt their culture as well. So this will be our benefit when we went to UK to work. So the solution is everything we can learn from our school or our true website. The most important thing we think is tolerance, compromise. If we don't tolerate with each other or compromise each other, no matter how good the culture is, it will be still discriminated by another culture. So for teamwork, as mentioned by Long Hai Feng, China is high context culture and UK is low context culture. So, but that one is developed by all, right? Yeah. So yeah, by all. So that one is ages ago. So for the young generation, actually it started to change. So everything is start to mix together. So actually, this will be one of the part we criticize on the whole scenario. Another one is the communication. As for communication, there are few problems on communication. One is the gesture problem. Another, the way we deliver our speech, the voice, the tone, everything, it will affect our communication. Some of them, when we stress on it, they might thought we are getting angry, but actually we are not. We are just pointing out the point, make sure they get what we are speaking. So from there, if we really want to solve this kind of problem, for Chinese to go to UK, the first, we must learn about their culture first. Second, if possible, UK also need to learn about China culture so they can compromise each other and tolerate each other. So our conclusion is just open-minded, don't close-minded.
Okay.
Okay, so next will be our teamwork reflection.
Okay, let me see our team work the process and some areas. Our process should be mainly divided into three parts. Firstly, we need to learn about each other in the city. Secondly, leader should communicate the jobs based on everyone the different finally, all information integration and screening. And we have some experience. We know in the same team, some people come from different countries. So one effective way is to learn about cultural diversity. We need to ask them each other. As we know, no one can finish a job by himself. So we need to learn. So we need to learn and set ideas and improve each other. And on the other hand, team leader should know the call of the work and our team member. We need to provide contact leader and team leadership. So that is something experience can promote our process.
Okay, thank you. All right. Class, you all have seen their presentation. I would say it's a good presentation, but it's lacking some